Good morning, Sir Ryan. Today I'll make a reflection video on Chavez B. Gonzalez, GR number 168338, February 15, 2008 po. First po, what is the case all about? Chavez B. Gonzalez is about whether government official can use the anti-wiretapping law, RA 42,200, to restrict media from broadcasting wiretap conversations. In this case, conversations allegedly implicating the President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo in election fraud. The petitioner, Francisco Chavez, argued that government warnings against airing the tapes violated press freedom and unconstitutional prior restraint. Facts about the case, or facts of the case po. In 2005 po, June 5, 2005, Press Secretary Ignacio Bunye publicly disclosed an alleged wiretap conversation involving President Arroyo and a COMELEC official, suggesting election manipulation. He presented two versions of the tapes, a full version and a doctored po, yung na-altered po. One, and later retracted his admission the voice was Arroyo. June 7, 2005, Attorney Alan Pague, counsel for former President Joseph Estrada, released what he claimed to be authentic wiretap recordings involving President Arroyo and other high-profile individuals. June 8, 2005, DOJ Secretary Raul Gonzalez warned that those possessing or broadcasting the tapes could be liable under RA 4200, the anti-wiretapping law, which prohibits the distribution of illegally obtained recordings. He mentioned that those involved in spreading or airing the tapes could face arrest. June 9, 2005, Secretary Gonzalez ordered the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, to go after media organization broadcasting or printing the tape's contents. June 11, 2005, the National Telecommunication Commission, NTC, issued a press release warning media companies about violating RA 4200 if they continue airing the tapes, threatening suspension or revocation of the broadcast license. In June 14 po, 2005, after a dialogue with kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, KBP, the NTC released a statement asserting respect for press freedom but encouraging responsible broadcasting, especially of the alleged wiretap material po. 3. Issue of the case. Prior restraint on the media, whether the government warning to media companies constituted a form of prior restraint violating press freedom. Application of RA 4200, anti-wiretapping law, justify restricting the media from airing or possessing tapes allegedly obtained illegally. Whether broadcasting tapes allegedly implicating government official in election fraud pose a significant threat to the public interest and national security, thus justifying the restriction. 4. Ruling of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled in the favor of Chavez, declaring the action of DOJ Secretary Gonzales and the NTC prior restraint on freedom of speech and the press, the court held. The government warnings to the media about broadcasting the tapes were forms of prior restraint, which are generally presumed. Clearly in present danger test, the court applied this test and found that the government did not show a clear and present danger that justified restricting the tapes broadcast. The government had not demonstrated an imminent threat to national security or public order. Application of RA or Republic Act 4200. While RA 4200 prohibits the dissemination of illegally wired-up material, the court ruled that this prohibition does not override the consumer protection of free speech and press, especially concerning the matters of public interest. Therefore, using RA Republic Act for 2200 to justify restricting media in this instance was unconstitutional. 5 po. Takeaways learning from the case. The Chavez case or the Chavez v. Gonzales case offer key insights into the interplay between press freedom and anti-wiretapping law. The ruling emphasized that while RA for 2000 Republic Act for 2200 safeguards against illegal wiretapping, it cannot be used to prevent the media from reporting on matters of significant public concern, especially when these reports involve allegation of government misconduct. In terms of limitation on press freedom, the court reinforced that prior restraint is generally prohibited unless the government can clearly demonstrate an immediate and direct threat to the national security, a high threshold that was not met in this case. The decision also highlighted the application of the clear and the present danger principle, that content based on restriction must be justified by an actual immediate threat rather than hypothetical or speculative danger. Additionally, the court affirmed that the public rights to information and freedom of expression hold strong protection, particularly in the instance where the media act as a check on government action. This ruling underlines the importance of balancing government regulation with the public rights to know. In a democratic society where transparency and accountability are paramount po. Yun lang po. Thank you.